Well, the simple present is used for many things, and we have a lot of grammar for the present, for the simple present. Okay. Now, the simple present is used to express the idea that an action is repeated or usual. Yes, kind of like a routine. Okay. Well, we can use for routines and also for things that don't change or we don't expect to change, right? And we have two examples here. I play the piano and she doesn't play tennis. Okay, it's well, yep, that's pretty much it. The second, the second one says it can also show that the speaker believes a fact was true, is true now, and will be true in the future. Okay, and we have it here. Italians love cooking. Yes, well, it's also used to generalize. Okay, for things that we believe as facts. And again, it's kind of redundant to say it, but it's for things that we believe that won't change in a while or won't change at all. Okay, and it can also be used for schedules. Okay, for things that are already set. For example, that again will not change, but for this scenario, for schedules or schedules events and happening soon. All right. So, for example, for we have here arrivals, departure times, and also for events, especially if there is a fixed time, which is referred to in the sentence. And we have here an example. The party starts at 9. Okay. It is pretty simple. It's something that, um, well, is the first thing that is thought when we're learning English, as you all may know, since you are all teachers, and that's fine. That's cool. All right. In the present tense, however, we have some rules for the third person, right? Okay. The third person has some rules that change the structure of some verbs. Well, of all the verbs, but for the third person, right? So, do you know these rules? The rules I'm talking about?
Yeah, yes.
Can you mention them, please?
One of the rule of the present simple present in the third person is as is in some verbs, but there are exceptions, like if the verb finishes with uh, double s, we add a s, or if the verb end in o, we add a s, right?
All right. Yes, it's correct, but those exceptions you mentioned are not quite exceptions. Okay, there are certain rules for every kind of verb. For example, we have verbs that have y ending. Okay, but with the structure at the end, consonant, vowel, consonant. Okay, for this kind of verbs, can you mention one?
Study,
Fly,
Study. Hold on. Do we have a consonant, vowel, consonant?
play, that would be play.
Play. Play is a perfect example. Play is a perfect example for this. Now, um, play has what we need, right? It has a consonant, which is the L. It has a vowel, the A, and a consonant again, the Y. Now, for these verbs, the only thing that changes is the last part. In this case, we are only going to add an S, right? When we have play, for example, yes? Okay, this is for Y ending um, verbs, okay? But with consonant, vowel, consonants. Now, another one is Y ending but with, oh my God, I forgot. With
With
consonants, consonant, I think this is the last one.
is a consonant,
Like in
but
fly,
Like what?
like fly,
Okay,
and
fly is a good
cry.
example. Cry as well. Cry, yes. Now, in this case, we are going to remove the last letter. In this case, um, the Y. Okay. Now, for these kinds
Yeah,
of verbs, what we're going to do is remove Y and replace it with IES, flies. Okay.
yeah.
Cry again changes to cries. Okay. And just like this, IES, we are going to add IES.
Yeah.
This one too. Oh, this one, we're just going to add an S. Okay. So far, so good. Okay. Now, for vowel sounds, well, this is at the end, right? At the end of the verb. For a vowel sound, can we think of a verb like that?
like go,
All right, go.
Eat.
Thank you. It has a consonant sound at the end. It has the t sound.
Yeah, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. So go has a vowel sound at the end. So for this, we're just going to add es, goes, correct? Go becomes goes. Now we have for consonant sound ending, can we think of a verb like this?
run,
Run. Okay. For consonant sounds, we are just going to add an S, correct? So run becomes runs. And um, this consonant sound includes also the silent silent E, you know? which are take, make.
We can add there like when the verb ends in ch, like teach.
That's a different rule. We'll get to it.
Okay.
Yes. Now for the silent E, it's it's the same as the consonant sound. That's why well, I myself don't consider it to be a different rule from this because we're basing this on sounds, okay? The last sound of the verb. Now, take ends in what sound? What is the last sound of take?
It's like the E
Exactly.
doesn't sound.
Yes. Let's let's break it down. A, and that's it, right? The E has no sound. The last sound is so it's a consonant sound. Then we're just going to add an S, right? Make one more time. M, A, right? The last sound again is, can you hear that? So since it's a consonant at the end, we are going to just add an S,
Yes.
right? Perfect. And the last one, the one you mentioned, I honestly do not remember who mentioned it because there are a lot of names here.
Me,
All
Guadalupe
right,
Apresa.
all right. Guadalupe Apresa mentioned the CH sound, right? But this involves also the X sound and the sh sound. Now, for these endings, we are going to add, first, can you give me one example for each?
Teach,
Mentioned teach,
Watched.
Watch. Fix.
what, okay, fix
wash,
Wash.
wash.
and wash. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Now, for these verbs, not only we're going to add um, an es, but also we are going to add a syllable. Okay, this is the only one that adds a syllable to the word. If you notice, we have play, play, plays, right? Fly, flies. It is one syllable, right? Go, goes. Run, runs. Take, takes. Correct? Now, in this ones, not only are we going to add es, but also we are going to add a syllable at the end. Now, it's not going to read teach, right? Because it just doesn't make sense. Now, we're going to read it as teaches, teaches, correct? And those are the only ones who add, well, not who, but which, which add a syllable at the end, correct? Fix will become fixes, right? Fixes, two syllables. Wash becomes washes, washes, correct? Watch as well, watches. Yes, we are just going to add an es and also a syllable, right? Okay, cool. And that's it. Those are all of the third person rules for verbs in the simple present. Do you
Teacher,
have any questions? Yes.
yeah. What about the verbs which finished in s, like express, expresses?
Well, we're just going to
Is that an
use
exception or
this
it's
one.
included in the last one?
It is included
Expresses.
in,
I think they are included in the last one.
Because you have
I
to add
think they
es
are,
also.
yes, included in the last one because you have two S's, so it is not possible to add another S. So we add ES.
ES.
Yes, ES, expresses. They are included in the last one because they are added a syllable and ES ending. Do you have any more questions? All clear? Yep,
Crystal clear.
perfect. I like that. All right, good. Then let's go back. Oh, what happened? I'm still new at using this Zoom platform. I'm getting the idea. All right. Now we have the simple past, and the simple past, as you know, is used for completed actions, right?
Right.
Okay. The simple past is used for completed actions, obviously in the past, and well, the simple past has some expressions that help you um, to help you identify it from the present perfect, or if you have options, let's say like in the exam you are going to have some options that have expressions that only the simple past has, like yesterday, like something ago, yeah, like 3 years ago, like four as well. Although for you can also use it in the present perfect, but there are expressions like that define a time in the past, a specific time in the past, and that is where you know that you're talking about the simple past tense, right? Like for example, here I went to the beach yesterday, correct? Now I went to the beach is also valid, but it gives you like the option to think, well, I can remember when I went to the beach. So you can just say it, I have gone to the beach, or I have been to the beach. And that would make perfect sense, right? Because we don't have a specific time in the past. It is not a completed specific action, right? But in this case, we have yesterday, which makes it a completed action in the past. It started and finished before this day, right? Before today, correct? Okay. Now, it can also be used for duration, to specify when something started and when it finished, right? Again, in the past. I lived in London for 3 years, okay? And well, it can also be used to describe a habit which stopped in the past, okay? Something that used to can help you describe, right? But we can also use the simple past for habits that we had but not anymore, correct? But if we're not trying to use used to, we can also use the simple past, and it would make perfect sense as well. And we have here an example, and well, first the example. I played the guitar when I was a child. I don't do it anymore, right? That's what it's implying. I played the guitar when I was a child, not anymore. And we have expressions that can be added to these statements. For example, always, often, usually, never, when I was a child, which was the one I chose here, when I was younger, and so on and so on. We have plenty of them, right? Uh, so far, so good,
Yes.
guys.
Yeah.
People, are you
Yes,
Yes,
here?
teacher.
thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes,
Right.
everything is clear.
Okay, good. I don't know if it's my internet
Clear.
connection or you are not responding. So I need
Your
constant
internet.
I need constant confirmation on what I say, please, because I struggle a lot with my internet, and I honestly don't know if you're listening, if you're, you know.
Okay,
Good.
okay, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Good. Okay. Well, in the simple past, we use some auxiliaries, right? As well as in the present tense. The auxiliaries for the past are did. We can also use was and where as auxiliaries, yes. And as well as in the present, you can use the verb be as an auxiliary and do or does. Now, in the past, did doesn't change according to the subject, yes, nor the verbs. However, we have regular and irregular verbs, but I bet you already know all those. So, okay, good. Um, well, and in the past, well, not precisely in the past, but we have the modal verbs, right? Which are located in a timeline. They are located before today. Yes. So we'll see more about that in the future. But right now, the simple past is, well, just this. Okay. Do you have any questions?
No.
No?
No,
Okay,
teacher.
good.
No.
No, thank
No,
you.
teacher, thank
All right, good. I'm trying to make this
No,
as quick as
thank
possible
you.
because you know the time, but uh, we'll catch up. Now we have the present perfect here, and well, there is one important thing to note about the present perfect, which is that the present perfect tense explains like the connection we have between the past and the present. Yes, and how an action in the past could be affecting, not affecting as consequences, but affecting the present and probably the future, right? And that is a present perfect. It tells us that something happened in the past, not specific, remember. We don't have specific dates in present perfect, because if we did, then we would be talking about the simple past, and that's not the point, right? Now we have um, we have actions that started in the past, or perhaps started and finished in the past, but we have no specific date, and also we don't know if we are going to do them again, right? So we have done things so far or until now, and that is, well, the present perfect, right? We have a question here. Have you ever been on TV? How would you respond to this? Or what does it
Yes, I
imply to
have
you?
or no, I haven't. That's it.
No, you haven't, right? Or if someone here is famous and is trying to hide it, now is the time. Please tell us, are you famous? Have you been on TV? Don't try to hide it. We're going to find out the truth. No?
Well, about present perfect, I have a question about using the bean or the gun.
Um, what is the question?
Last time I was giving a lesson and there were a difference between being and gone. And supposedly it like being
Mhm.
is because you are now here. And gone is because you are in that place. So I didn't get that. So do you know anything about that difference between using being and gone?
Oh, well, as far as I understand it, been and gone can be used equally. You know, I have been to Paris and I have gone to Paris, and it implies the same message. It gives the same message that you went to Paris, perhaps stayed a few days, and then you went back home or wherever you were before you traveled to Paris, right? So, according to my experience, that is it. You can use both of them for that.
Okay, thank you.
But you can always prove me wrong. I mean, if you have all the information, I'm more than happy to hear that. No, no one. Okay, good. Uh, yeah, and I mean, yes, there is. For me, there is no difference between being and gone because the meaning, for example, can be in the context. You know, the context in English is very important, and you should know it. The you could be talking with someone face to face and tell them, you know what, I have been to China 3 times, like the example says. But also you can tell them the same face to face. You can tell them I have gone to China 3 times, and it. I mean, for me, honestly, it doesn't make any difference if you use gone or been.
Es como he estado, he ido, ¿no? I have
Yes,
been, I
yeah,
have
that's
come,
yeah, that's exactly it. The meaning for me is the same. If you went, you obviously,
been.
where.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you were, you obviously went, like the message is pretty much the same. So there. But again, if there is something that I don't know and you know, please let me know. So I'm more prepared. But okay, since nobody's saying anything, let's continue. Yes. No questions about present perfect.
Sure.
Well, besides the gone and been part.
No, thanks.
All right, perfect. All right,
Not
now
so far.
we are not so far. That's perfect. Now we have the present perfect continuous. Okay, the present perfect continuous, also called present perfect progressive, is a verb tense which is used to show that an action started in the past and has continued up to the present moment. Okay, this is a more clear connection between the past and the present, but also the future. Okay, and in here there is something that um, Well, it is an action that, as this paragraph says, is it is an action that started in the past, and it doesn't matter if it is specific or not, because it's something that hasn't ended yet. Okay. Yes. The
Yes.
For example, it emphasizes duration, which yeah, which, as I told you, is it is an action, a situation that hasn't ended, that has no end yet. All right. So it can continue to be like that for a long time, and it would still be the same. I have been living in Alaska, and well, the rest is optional, I reckon, but you can't always specify for how long or since when. Yes, since and for are usually the most common prepositions used for perfect tenses, right? So, as the example says, I have been living in Alaska for 2 years. Okay, it is an action that started 2 years ago and has continued, and with no interruption, right? As I told you, it's something that has not ended, and therefore is an ongoing action. And ongoing actions are part of the continuous tense, correct? Doesn't matter what continuous, if it is present perfect continuous or past continuous. Ongoing actions are always going to be ing, and are always going to be representing duration, let's say. Yes.
Yes.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, I think we have um, time for one exercise, and but do you have any questions before we get to the exercise?
I think no.
No? Well, good.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Let's continue
About
then.
these sentences, I can use since.
Yes, I have been living in Alaska since 1995, which is when I was born.
What could be the difference using for and since?
Well, since gives you the specific time when
Mm-hmm.
this action started, and for gives you the sense of duration, like how long has it been since that moment, right?
You repeat for. For
Yeah.
gives
For
you.
for is for gives you the sense of duration, let's say. Now, if I whose microphone is that? Could you please mute it? There it is. Yeah. For, well, since gives you when it started, right? And for gives you for how long it has been happening, let's say. Yes. It gives you that sense of duration.
Okay.
Okay, it's
Yes.
clear. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Yep. If there are no more questions, can we go to the exercise? All right, good. Now we have here 20 sentences, right? So they go from the the simple present all the way to the present perfect. Okay.
Yes.
Now what we're going to do is change the verb given In this case, change the verb given to the correct form according to the tense, right? For example, number one,
Is
Where
yeah,
is?
where is your
Where
family
is your
Is
from?
where
family?
is family from originally?
Origin.
yes, perfect. Where is your family from originally? And this is something, this is from the simple present, right? Because it's something that you cannot change. It's just, it's a fact, right? And facts cannot be changed. And we use the simple present for facts or for things that we do not expect to change. And well, you cannot change where you're from. Well, only on paper, but it's a lot of paperwork, and I honestly do not recommend it. So, so yeah, let's do the rest. All right, go
Yes.
ahead. Take a few
Okay.
minutes to do it, and let me know when you finish, please.
Okay.
All
Is
right.
your parent is what?
There is so much noise.
Yes, can you please all be muted for this activity? That would be awesome. And don't worry, I'll do it. I'm just letting you know that I'm going to mute your audio. That's it.
Finish. Adriana, I finish.
Perfect. All right. Let's check. Number 2. Who wants to do it? Sorry.
Are your parents from another city?
Hmm. Next. Someone else, please.
What is your favorite game when you were little?
What
No,
was?
I
No,
think
what
Mm,
was?
what
What
was, yeah,
was?
what
what
is?
was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Were you
What
good at
was? Very
sports
good.
as a
Yeah,
child?
no worries. We are here to make mistakes.
Mhm.
Perfect. Very
Were
good.
you good?
Do not apologize when you make a mistake, okay? That is good. You are here to make mistakes.
5.
All right. Number 5.
How many
How many
people do you
people?
know in your neighborhood?
Come again, please.
How many people do you know in your neighborhood?
Perfect. Next.
6. Do you do your
Does
best friend
Does your best
does
does
friend live?
Da.
okay
Does.
does your best friend
Mm-hmm.
live near you?
Perfect.
Yes.
Live near you. Good. Number 7.
which friend spends the most time at your house?
Perfect.
Ten.
Spent. Next.
What do you do and your friends do on the weekend?
What did you and your friends do on the weekend?
Well, that honestly depends on the context, you know? It can either be what you
Yeah, because
usually
it's talking
do
What do
about
or
you
what
things
you
you
do?
did.
do repeatedly with friends.
So, what do did your friends? And well, this one doesn't change on the weekend, right? Remember, verbs do not change. Verbs don't change when we have a question.
Me te deja eso ya. Eso lo hace todo el día.
Only when we have a second verb, which is going to give us a different tense from the original tense in the question, but
Did
you know that.
right. What did you?
All right. Number 9, please.
Did you get?
When did
When
you
did you
get?
get home last night?
Perfect. 10.
Did you go
Did you
out
go out with your friends last night?
Perfect. Why did? What gave it away?
Because you have last.
last night?
Perfect. Exactly. We have last night. That is an expression in the past, right? A concluded action in the past. On number 11, please.
What
Do
did you
do?
do?
What did you do?
Doing.
What
Did you do?
what do you do for exercise now?
No, what are you doing?
What are you
What are you
yeah,
What?
doing?
what are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing?
Okay. What
What are you
are
doing?
you doing?
Doing.
Okay. Remember, in this sentence, well, question, more than one answer is possible, right? Um, because we can use now as an ongoing action or as a simple present question, which talks about a routine, correct?
Yeah.
So it can be either what do you do for exercise now, or what are you doing for exercise now?
What did you do?
But both of them are correct. So Very good. And 12. Sorry.
Do you get enough exercise these days?
Are you getting enough exercise these days?
Are you getting
Are you
is the best
getting
option here. Are you
Are you
getting enough
getting?
exercise these
Are
days?
you
Perfect.
getting?
Yep. Because these days is not something in the present, right? It's around the present. It is an ongoing action. Number 13.
What did you do at
What
this
did you do?
time?
What
What
were
did you
you
do?
doing?
Uh-huh.
What were you doing at this time yesterday?
Okay.
What were you doing?
Yep. Why do we use the past
What do?
the past continuous?
What did?
What were you doing?
Why do we use the past continuous?
For an action that
Anyone?
For the
we
time.
use for a specific time in the past.
Okay. In this case, we use the past continuous, correct? Now, it is the best option, the best answer.
For an action that
But
is continue.
yes, for an ongoing action in the past. Now, since we have at this time, it makes it an ongoing action in the past, right? Now, if we only had, what were you doing yesterday?
Yesterday.
Then this is a completed action, and it's not talking about like at this time, like at a specific time. That would make it an ongoing action. But yesterday is not a continuous expression, right? So it will only be what did you do yesterday, correct? Now, since we have at this time, that makes it ongoing, and therefore we have to use the past continuous. Um, is that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
14.
Did you
go
hang
Did you
out?
hang out?
With your friends
I'm
yesterday.
sorry. Did you hang out?
Did you hang out with your friends yesterday?
Yep. Did you hang out with your friends yesterday? You see the difference? We have only yesterday here,
Mhm.
and we do not have this expression at this time. So we use the simple past. 15.
How long have you
No,
known your
your
best friend?
best friend.
No.
Perfect. Very good.
Has your best
Um,
friend?
okay.
Has your best friend ever made you anything?
Very good. 17, sorry.
How
What
has
has
your
your
English
English
class
class
been
been?
going?
Exactly. How has your English class
Been
been
going.
going this year? Why do we use the present perfect continuous?
We are talking of an activity that has been taken a long time, that is in progress, that has been taken for the year in this
Yeah,
case.
exactly. Yes, very good. First, it is an action that started but hasn't ended. And secondly, we have this year. So if we take that into the real time right now, the year hasn't ended. So it is an ongoing action. 18.
Have you
Did you
been
Have you been learning a lot?
Have you been learning?
have you been learning a lot?
Yes. Have you been learning a lot? 19.
Can you speak
English better than your friends?
Hopefully, yes. And the last one.
In your
Your
opinion,
opinion.
how much time do you spend?
Should you spend?
Should you
should
spend?
you
Oh,
no should you
should.
spend?
Yes,
Because you have should and you have to use it.
exactly. And remember that these auxiliaries are the ones that give you the tense. So there is no need for you to either change verbs or use extra auxiliaries. Okay, one is fine. Except if you're using the past modals or the present perfect, well, which is the present perfect with a second auxiliary. But other than that, these are going to give you the tense always. Okay, in questions, obviously. And that's it. Okay, guys, very good. Well, we're going to leave it here for today. Um, can I erase? Oh, well, can I stop sharing the screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, guys. Well, that will be it for today. Don't expect every lesson to be as easy as today. Remember, today was it was just a review of the simple and perfect tenses. Well, only the present perfect, but still, it was a review. And well, since all of you are teachers, it's going to be just a piece of cake for you what's coming. Okay. However, it's not going to be as lazy as today. We're going to have plenty of exercises based on the exam, based on the topic that we are addressing at the moment. And well, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.